All right, we are ready for our Unit 10 review for the Math 4 course. Still a little matrix humor there. All right, first thing is we're going to be talking about these element labels. One thing that you're going to need to be aware of with the test being on Google Forms, it's not giving me the option of doing subscript. So you're going to see B sub 22 actually look like this on the test. I actually have the word sub in parentheses, but this is basically what I'm asking for when I do that on the test. So you'll need to know that. Now, B sub 22, basically, remember RC cola, rows and columns. Row 2, column 2. So I go to matrix B, row 2, that would be the bottom row, and column 2, that would be the guy in the middle. That's the element at row 2, column 2. All right, then we'll go to H, row 3, column 1. Row 3, that's the bottom row, and column 1. A, row 2, column 2. Row 2, that's the bottom. Column 2, that's the last one. D, row 1, column 3. D, row 1, that's the top row. Column 3, that's the guy on the end. And then G, row 2, column 2, there is no row 2. There's only one row. So this is going to be undefined because there's no such animal. All right, here we are simply adding together numbers in matching spaces. 1 plus -3, -3 plus 0, 5 plus -2, 2 plus 4, -4 plus 5, 6 plus 1. That's what that's going to look like. This one is pretty easy. You've got a 4 plus 0 and a -5 plus 0. This is, yes, a zero matrix. Here you would almost describe it as an additive identity. This is not an identity matrix. Those are technically something that's more involved in multiplication, multiplicative identity. But it is a zero matrix, and it is, you add it to 0, you get the same thing back. All right, A plus G, we have a problem. This is a 2 by 2, this is a 1 by 2. They do not match. I cannot add things that do not have exactly the same size and shape, the same order. Now this guy, we're going to distribute 2 on him, and I tend to prefer to distribute the negative with the 3 so that I have this plus that, and just distribute the negative with it so that way I can be adding these things. I make fewer mistakes when I add. So when I have the option, I try to set myself up for addition rather than subtraction. All right, 2 times -2, 2 times 5, 2 times 0, 2 times 3, 2 times -1, 2 times 1, -3 times 4, -3 times -4, and 15, and -15, and -18, and +18. Now that we got those down, we can just add -4 plus -12, 10 plus 12, and 0 and 15, and 6 and -15, and -2, -18, and 2 plus 18. Here we're going to multiply this guy by 2. We'll get an 8 and a negative 6 and a negative 10 and a 0. And then we're ready to add. 2 plus 8, 4 plus negative 6, 3 plus negative 10, negative 5 plus 0. Now we flip over to the back side of this sheet and we have multiplications. Now B is, before you really try and do anything, you need to get an idea of how big is my result. What shape is it going to be? This is a 2 by 3. This is a 3 rows by 2 columns. So I make sure that my middle numbers match, and my result is going to be a 2 by 2. So we're going to set that up as a 2 by 2, and we're going to work the first row and the first column. Negative 2 times negative 3 plus 0 times 0 plus negative 1 times negative 2. Okay, and then we move over to the other column. We say negative 2 times 4 and 0 times 5 and negative 1 times 1. And then let's go that color instead. Second row, first column. Second row, first column. 5 times negative 3, and 3 times 0, and 1 times negative 2. And we switch over to the other column. 5 times 4, 3 times 5, and 1 times 1. So we're going to wind up with a 6 plus 0 plus 2, and we're going to wind up with a negative 15 plus 0 minus 2, and a negative 8 plus 0 minus 1, and a 20 plus 15 plus 1. So our final answer is going to be 8 and negative 17 and negative 9 and 36. All right, this guy is a 3 by 2 times a 2 by 3, which means that our answer is going to be a 3 by 3. So we need to go ahead and set up for the 3 by 3. Okay, there is our 3 by 3. We're going to start with row 1, column 1. 1 times 4 plus 2 times negative 4. And then we're going to go with the middle column. 1 times negative 5 plus 2 times 5. And then we're going to go with the last column, 1 times 6 plus 2 times negative 6. This is going to do something really, really interesting with the numbers. I was very much surprised at the outcome when we got to the end of this thing. I was not expecting it to do the things that it did. All right, so we're going to go negative 3 times 4 and negative 4 times negative 4. And then we're going to go negative 3 times negative 5 and negative 4 times 5. And then we're going to go negative 3 times 6, and negative 4 times negative 6. And then we'll move on to the very last row. First column, 5 times 4, 6 times negative 4. We'll go to the middle column, 5 times negative 5, plus 6 times 5, and then 5 times 6, and 6 times negative 6. And now we're ready to start putting these together. 4 minus 8, negative 12 plus 16, 20 minus 24, negative 5 plus 10, 15 minus 20, negative 25 plus 30, and then 6 minus 12, negative 18 plus 24, and 30 minus 36. Now this is going to have a really weird effect when we get done with this, because it's going to be negative 4, and then it's going to be positive 5, negative 5, positive 5, and then it's going to be negative 6, positive 6, negative 6. I could not have planned it that way if I wanted to. All right, G times C. This one is, well, let's see now, it's a 1 by 2 and a 2 by 2, so this is doable. Our answer is going to be a 1 by 2. We're going to say 0 times 2 and 0 times 4. I think we kind of get a clue as to where this is going. 0 times 3 and 0 times negative 5. Which means we're going to wind up with that again. And of course, you know, we do know that when you say 0 times anything, you get 0 back for an answer. And just the way that this is distributed, everybody gets a taste of the 0. So 0 is going to be our answer. That was kind of quick and easy. All right, we got 2 more to go. This is a 2 by 2, 2 rows and 3 columns, which means we are going to have a 2 by 3 when we are done. Okay, so we are doing first row, first column, 4 times negative 2 plus negative 5 times 5. Then we're going to do 4 times 0, and negative 5 times 3, and then 4 times negative 1, and negative 5 times 1. And then we're going to switch over to the bottom row, first column, negative 3 times negative 2, and then 0 times 5. And we'll get the middle column, negative 3 times 0, and 0 times 3. And then we'll get negative 3 times negative 1, and 0 times 1. So we'll get a negative 8 minus 25. Yeah, okay. And a 6 plus 0, and a 0 minus 15, and a 0 plus 0, and a negative 4 minus 5, and a 3 plus 0. So our finished product is going to be negative 33 and 6 and negative 15 and 0 and negative 9 and 3. right. And then the last one, we have a 2x3 and a 2x2. And these numbers don't match, which means we can't do this. Okay, that is it for that. And the test is up next.